And finally, some tips on how to implement supply chain management. These tips were taken from the textbook of Reid and Sanders. Here are some success factors, success strategies that you should consider once you are in charge of implementing any kind of supply chain management strategy. So frequently assess your supply network, your suppliers, and frequently check if all the suppliers match your business. Try to always have a global view of demand. Try not to only see your own situation, but the global situation. Make an explicit decision how your products should get to the customers, how the products should get to your customers. Try to improve the productivity of your assets. Don't let them unused. On the other hand, don't try to increase the asset capacity, the used asset capacity too much in order to stay flexible. It is always good to expand your visibility along the supply chain, of course depending how big your company actually is. But if your visibility is higher, your suppliers know what you really want and can help you with that. You need to try to have an overview of your supply chain in terms of understanding and knowing what's happening. For example, in the real-world case study in the Suez Canal, maybe even if you're not a container ship operator, but if you can understand these global events and how they may affect you, you can think ahead and try to come up with alternatives. Make your design of your supply chain in such a way that the delivery of the customer values and the customer requirements and your products to the customer are always in the center of attention. And always track what's going on in your supply chain, what are the different key performance indicators, and based on this measurement, try to come up with ideas on how to improve your supply chain quality. Now we can finalize this chapter. So we discussed the sourcing issues in a supply chain, and thereby we discussed when to outsource and when not to outsource. We had a look at some basic financial models to make the make or buy decision by comparing the total cost of buying with the total cost of making the product. We calculated the interference point and used these financial measures as a basic for our outsourcing decision. When we looked at the distribution issues, we looked at different types of warehouses that are used in supply chains, including the cross-docking warehouse that tries to avoid storing products completely. I also gave you a quick overview of third-party logistics service providers and why they can be useful. And finally, we finished this presentation, this video, with some hands-on strategies to successfully implement a supply chain. You can read about all these discussed things in the chapter number 4 of Reid and Sanders in their textbook that we are using for many parts of this course. Enjoy!